baby. Raising hell today, okay?
Bring the juice today, brother. Let's get it.
You're going to be standing right next to me, man?
Welcome to Up the Gut.
Let's go, boys. Let's go. Let's do a thing now.
I just can't do this right now.
Hang on, kid. Run. Far side of the 10. Step on to the 5. Head for the end zone. What a play.
Derrick Henry was on my team, so I'm going to go Texans, I guess.
Yeah, he's on Tennessee, though.
Oh.
You tried. You went for it. I appreciate it. This is Up the Gut, live.
100%.
Welcome to Up the Gut Live, the saddest day. I called it the saddest day because I have got to experience what 31 other teams will experience by the end of this. What 20 or what 30 teams have already experienced. And it hurts. And I know the chat will be blowing up because we got a lot of Chiefs fans in here, and we will hit all that. But luckily, I don't have to hit all this alone, and I have someone to share in my misery. So welcome, Matthew F. Adlers. Hi, Matt.
Hi.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm so glad I got a microphone and a webcam for this. The saddest day.
Just like everything else, this is only the beginning. We'll probably have more of these.
I don't want any more of these. I've had enough.
That's true. Well, when you lose Aaron Rodgers, you're going to have a whole lot more. So it's just.
We're not, because they'll pay him whatever he wants to stay.
No, yeah, I mean. No, we can't, taste bud guys.
Because the head coach and the GM have already said that he's coming back.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's no way you guys are going to get rid of him. What I'm saying is, you guys have had some heartbreaks. You've got only a couple Super Bowls between two of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game. So I understand that you guys have had it kind of rough. But I think I told you right before we went on air is, you got to look at the bright side. At least we were in a position to make me this sad. Can we agree we all hate Brady? I mean, I don't hate Brady the man. I think I hate more the refs than what they give Brady. Yeah. We'll get into the matchup, and I haven't even discussed this with Matt yet, but I think we're going to do this one as kind of a recap, and then kind of get in with the chat and just kind of hit some broad topics. I don't think we'll cover the Super Bowl really until next week.
Yeah.
And we're actually going to go next week, I think Thursday instead of Wednesday. And it'll still be 6:30, I think, but we're trying to get a guest host on. So it just works better that way. It gets a little closer to Super Bowl since we don't have a week prior to go over.
Yeah, and we're not having a Pro Bowl this year, so.
Oh, yeah, I think I actually put that in the description. Matt and Patrick review the championship round and discuss what is happening pre-non-probowl.
Nothing.
Go figure, we get more Bills in the Pro Bowl than ever. Let's just not do it. Let's just don't worry about it. People have been hitting each other all this time, playing all these games. We won't do it.
I mean, I would say it's a better season for you guys than us because you guys made a huge leap from what you've been.
We did, but that makes it all the worse because I believe every bit we had the talent to go all the way. And I think I said it from the get-go. I mean, I was always worried about Kansas City, but if we're going to earn the Super Bowl and we're going to earn to go up against Tampa Bay and or Green Bay, I wanted to beat Kansas City to do it. And if we can't do that, we don't deserve to get there. And I still firmly believe that. Doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. So let's go ahead and dive into fans because, I am a Buffalo Bills fan in the heart of Kansas City. Like everybody around me is a Chiefs fan. All my friends are Chiefs fans. So I got so many texts when the Bills lost, it crashed my phone. And I don't think people realize that. I'm all good for a good ribbing and a little bit like, hey, we whooped your ass. But I got so many that my phone froze up and couldn't send or receive text for about 45 minutes. And so then I got to thinking about it, and I said several times after that Kansas City fans have to be the worst fans ever because, there's such a thing as being a sore winner. And then I got to thinking about it. I'm like, no, I know exactly what it is. So if you Kansas City fans are watching, don't yell at me yet. It's not even Kansas City fans. The worst fans are bandwagon fans.
Yeah.
because I had a lot of my friends who are Kansas City fans text me and say, "Hey, man, sorry for the loss. Good game," But the ones that didn't are probably more the bandwagon fans, because any long-suffering Chiefs fans knows what it's like.
Yeah.
Every fan knows what this feels like. They're not going to rub it in because they know they'll be back there at some point. So that's kind of how it is. I believe this is more of a bandwagon fan hitting me than it is true fans, because I know a lot of true fans, and they feel the same way about football I do. And so they're not going to give you that hard time.
It's kind of reminiscent to when the Legion of Boom happened and Seattle was suddenly good, and boy, Seahawks fans just came out of the woodwork.
They were the worst fans.
The worst.
Can I share the last text I got from you on Sunday until today?
Me?
Is that all right? Yeah, the last text you sent me.
Okay, I don't know if you know
the last text I got from this was before the Bills game. I sent him, "Sorry, buddy. Sorry about the game." And then he just said 3 hours later, "Fuck everything right now, man." that was the only thing I heard from Ahlers after the game until today. All right, so no, Taste Bud guys did not text me, and I felt really bad. I got a horrible migraine before the games ever started on Sunday, and it carried on through Monday. So I tried watching the Taste Bud guys live on Monday, and I couldn't do it. I completely missed everything. So I did rewatch a little bit of it, and from what I saw, they were gracious, and they weren't gloating on me, or they weren't mean. So if you guys don't,
Henry ran all over you guys.
There might have been some Derrick Henry mentioning, but just to tie this all in and then make Lyle feel better if he's watching. So right now they're doing some Madden thing going on, and it's been popping up on my YouTube feed.
Yeah.
And do you know who's together doing this? I think it's like two celebrities and two football players. It's Deshaun Watson and Derrick Henry. So it's those two together. So it's like Lyle called it from the get-go that Derrick Henry would be hanging out with Deshaun Watson of the Texans.
I think this Madden thing is what they're replacing the Pro Bowl with this year because of COVID and whatnot.
Oh, that's stupid. You can play all the games. I don't think anybody's ever quite figured out what COVID is because the rules aren't consistent.
They're not.
Yeah, the worst part about Tampa Bay going through is how it happened. How that they didn't call holding throughout the entire game, and they're just letting them play. They're letting them play until the third down. Green Bay stops Tampa Bay, and after the play from who knows where in the stands, a lone yellow flag comes out when there wasn't a bit of holding on the play. That I did not like.
And it went to a booth review.
Did it really?
Yeah.
There was no holding. How does that make it through that?
I mean, there was holding. He grabbed his jersey, but the fact that they didn't call it once on Tampa all game, and then when it's finally our turn, then they're going to throw the flag.
Yeah, I kind of felt the same way about the Chiefs. The only time they called holding on the Chiefs defensive backs is when they held Cole Beasley 3 times in one play. Cut, held, cut, hold, and they actually tackled him at the end. That's the only reason they threw the flag, is it was so obvious they couldn't get past it. But before people think I'm making excuses, oh yeah, so I hate Brady, and Nathan's right. It was an uncatchable ball on top of all that. Even if he had held, it was nowhere near catchable. So before anybody thinks I'm a sore loser, I think that our loss was on us. Our offensive line let more free runners through than I've ever seen in my life, and our defensive coordinator played the softest zone coverage I've ever seen in my life. We weren't going to get out of that game with that lineup, with that game plan. So that was on us, and we'll learn from that, and we'll grow. And you know what? Buffalo's coming to Kansas City next year. I will be there. I will be as close as I can get, and I will be yelling every obscenity at every fan I can find. I'm going to fight all of you guys, everybody. Sorry.
Hopefully we'll be there.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have our media passes, because we are up 2 subscribers from last week.
Woo-hoo.
23. You guys are killing it. Oh, while we're on that, guys, I was just kind of going through, and I noticed that 65% of the people that watch us are not subscribed to us.
But
That is crazy. All it takes is just there's a button somewhere down in this area. I mean, I don't even know. Ailers, I think it's under you. Just tell them down there.
It's more on my side, somewhere over here.
Yeah, they're right over there. Just subscribe.
You'll see the button next to it.
If you guys do me a favor, just click that like button right now. Just boop, like. Here, I'll start it off for us. I like I own stuff. Anyway, if you guys can do that for us, because we are going to go next year and try to get media credentials. We're going to try to be important. So,
I mean, I feel important.
I look important. No, I don't.
You do look important.
I look sad. I look like Aaron Rodgers, and I just had a good cry.
I mean, this would be the week to do it.
Oh, yes, I know. Okay, so we will have Ogre on here in a little bit. I think he just sent me a text that he is he's eating, so we'll leave him alone for a little bit. But he'll be on to give me what I got coming to me, because I've got it coming to me. Oh, I think Taste Bud guys want to go to the Chiefs game. Hey, the more the merrier. I will definitely be going to that game, unless, of course, I'm not, which means I'm working. But I'm going to do my damnedest. Like, I don't want to miss another one. I was going to go to this game, and I bought a couch instead. Turned out to be the better decision.
Yeah.
Nathan is subscribed and turn on notifications because Ayler's sexy. I get it. So, I was so distraught. I didn't even ask, man, where do we stand on Archibald?
I mean, we know it's not my name because you called me Matthew F. Ahlers to start the show.
I was too sad. Can't hold that against me.
You were so sad my real name came out.
I actually, I recovered a little quicker than I thought I would.
Yeah. I have.
Hold on. I subscribe, but not because you're sexy. Like, she acknowledges your sexiness. That's just not the reason she subscribed. It was for the content. So, I mean, that's nice to know.
That's why we want people to subscribe.
Yeah, mostly for the content. I mean,
yeah.
I think I told Ailers before we went live. I said, we're gonna be sore. We're gonna be a little bit salty, but we got to be professional here.
I am a salty little potato chip.
Yes, you are. Let's see. Oh, where are we? Oh, we're right here. Please like and subscribe. And then I just want to take a moment to acknowledge that Joe Flacco is the official quarterback here at Up the Gut.
No, he's not.
He's the unofficial official. He still hasn't got back to me on Twitter, but he's dropping bombs. Yeah, dropping bombs. Yeah,
but he's not dropping bombs. He only played like one game this year. Maybe two.
Don't be like that. Just don't be like that.
Why? Why is that name tag up there? Take that away.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, so we're getting to the point where we're winding down and things aren't. I don't know how to get rid of it. So things are winding down. So we're gonna have a lot less to talk about. So we're really gonna have to rely on you guys.
Heather said I'm not sexy.
What? But Nathan says you are.
Right.
He agrees with me. He got the same thing out of it. But see, that's the thing is, you didn't say we weren't sexy. Clearly Ahlers is. Like, that's not even up for debate.
I mean, she wasn't referring to me, so clearly I'm not. I'm just an ugly boy. Matthew Ugly Boy Ahlers.
Matthew, you're scaring people away. We don't get subscriptions because you're not sexy enough, according to our chat. How dare you?
For the Super Bowl show, I'll shave. And then I'll look like a fat baby.
I will not shave for the Super Bowl show.
You don't need to shave. Your mustache and beard are all full, and I got this weird division here and almost all the way through.
You got the Josh Allen beard. It's almost there. All right, so let's go ahead and recap. And I'm going to let you do most of the talking for yours.
Hold on.
What am I holding on to? Microphone.
I'm
holding on.
take another swig before I.
I'm holding on.
You're swig
Okay.
for this.
So tell me about that Buccaneers-Packers game. It was a good game. Didn't go, I think, how anybody really wanted it to go. I mean, obviously, I wanted the Packers to win for your sake, and I didn't want Tom Brady to win for the obvious reason that now the Tampa Bay is playing at home, and that's going to be endless talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess we just have to get it over with. He is now officially the GOAT forever and a day because there's no arguments that you can make against anybody. Even though he made just good decisions on where he went with good coaching,
absolutely.
good players. But
Of all the places
anyway,
he went to the place with the most talent. Just nobody knew Tampa Bay had that much talent because Jameis Winston was there throwing interceptions, and it overshadowed everything that Tampa Bay could have been.
yep. So before I let you talk about your game, we're going to bring in Chad Smith with the Juiced Up Ogre. He's going to he's going to join us in this. So here he is, Chad Smith.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Look at those pecs.
Look
Look at that
gun.
bicep. Look at that beard.
What is today? You're at home. Goodness, Chad, how you feeling? Feeling pretty good?
Gun show? I didn't know I was invited to a gun show.
Good job. Mine are all covered up.
Yeah, I left mine in.
Tonight. We all drinking tonight.
Jim Beam and Pepsi.
My energy drink, so hopefully
No,
my heart-
Evan Williams and Pepsi. Sorry, it's Evan Williams and Pepsi. Which surprisingly, the Evan Williams by itself, not bad.
Now they've got a couple. Have you tried the Evan Williams Sour Mash? Or did
I don't
you
think
go with
so.
the bourbon?
I just went with the I think the Black Label bourbon. So
That Black Label bourbon might beat the Sour Mash. Tastes like Jack Daniels.
it could be.
Yeah,
Makes for good mix.
great mix. Yeah.
Anyway, so we're just getting ready to let Ehlers go into his Bucks and Packs and kind of discuss what happened there.
Go for it, Ehlers. Let's hear it.
All right. Well, the first half was a lot of mistakes on Green Bay's end because that first half, everything that went wrong, other than the interception, was all Green Bay's fault. But that interception should not have been an interception because if you watch it, whoever that was covering Lazard, I don't remember his name. I don't remember which one it was. I have to go back and watch the highlights. But you'll watch him. He's got his hand on him to kind of keep pace with him so he doesn't lose him while he looks back. Then he grabs his jersey off his shoulder pad and then throws him to the ground before he catches the ball. And that's
that is 100%. But that was happening all game. And I didn't see it so much. Like I've had a lot of talks with some Chiefs fans and you hear, God, that is a beautiful liquor cabinet.
It is. But that was like, honestly, that was like the really only egregious call they missed in the whole first half. Other than that, the first half was just really bad on our end, especially the last 6 seconds.
Yeah, no, but like I said, I was talking with Chiefs fans, and you were like, man, there was so much hold. Oh, yeah, it happened on both sides. No, I mean, I watched pretty close, and when it comes down to it, is I really don't have a dog in the fight when it comes to Bucks and Packers.
Yeah.
And I watched so much holding going on with those Bucks defensive backs.
Yeah.
It's like every play. And that seems to be the move is just a little tug right at a cut. It's a little tug right at a cut.
Perfect spot.
And I can't believe they got and it's one thing if they say, okay, hey, they're letting him play. They're just letting him it's football. They're letting him play. Cool. Then don't throw the imaginary flag on an uncatchable ball where there was no holding. Whoop, look at that. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, but that was the story of the second half. We started clawing our way back. Brady was starting to wilt because his throws were looking bad. He threw 3 straight picks.
So let me ask you a question. I'm going to interfere here for just a second, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Patrick, you know my stance on refs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I always feel like, big calls, refs usually they got to make the right call almost these days because there's so many delays and
hey, Chad, taste bud guys say to grab the Weller.
But what's that?
Taste bud guys say grab that Weller.
You know what? It's a weeded bourbon, taste bud guys, and my doctor told me to get off of gluten, and so I know regular bourbon's got some in it, but a weeded bourbon, and so I'm honestly saving it to give to someone because I don't know. I guess I could splurge on it.
He's right here.
I'm kind of looking forward to the Twin Gretzky's ice cask.
You give it to Patrick as a consolation
But I'm not
prize.
a Canadian whiskey guy. Anyway,
Sorry.
so here's my thoughts. If you're tugging at every cut, if you're stepping on a toe, whatever you're doing, I mean, if it's not getting called, man, that's advantage. That's disruption. When I played basketball, I was a 6'1" center, but I weighed 215 in high school. So I used to go up against 6'5" guys, 6'6" guys. I can't tell you how many times I got pinched on the backside, stepped on their feet, like constantly moved, like budging into their ankles, taking my thumb, sticking it in their backsides of their ribs when they're trying to post up. You do that enough, man, people get annoyed with it. And
Yep.
I mean, it can change a game. So, I mean, if that's the case, I just feel like if they're truly doing it in a bad way, I think the calls would have been there. That last call, we can wait. That can come out and talk about it. But I feel like Rubbin's renting, right? Rubbin's racing. I mean,
It is. But
I
if
think
you're
there's
not,
an advantage to, I mean, any good line is going to probably hold a little bit. I mean, they got to, man.
I'm not even talking about the line. I'm
Yeah,
talking
I'm talking about the
We're talking about defensive backs. I know.
Yeah.
I'm just
And-
saying, like,
And again, I get it. I get that there's, if it's happening and they're not calling it, that's the game that you're playing. You keep doing it.
You have to keep not calling it.
Yeah, that's the thing though.
Or
Is
call all of them.
consistency,
I get it.
one way or another.
I think, I don't know. Here's my thought. Packers beat themselves.
They did. Like I said, the refs
like
didn't
that
cost us
defense.
the game.
I feel like they had.
They just helped Brady along.
They had opportunities.
But
Brady threw
we had
2
plenty.
interceptions in the final.
3.
He threw 2 interceptions in the final, what, 6 minutes?
Yeah.
That's what
Which I called, by the way. Tom Brady was just getting. I called that watching the game. Before he ever threw one, I said he's about to. The way he was throwing that deep ball, he was getting reckless. I'm like, he's about to start throwing interceptions.
Yeah, his arm was starting to fade.
First half. What, 13 seconds left in the second quarter? He got a little confidence going there.
Well, that's because our defensive coordinator called a stupid single high defense and he got burned by Scotty Miller. Because
That was
calling
stupid.
Scotty Miller?
Hey, you got to fire the defensive coordinator like Adam Gase did.
I've been wanting to fire our defensive coordinator. Mike Pettin sucks. He's
So
terrible.
I believe that Buffalo lost that game 100%. I think that the refs, and Nathan said it, you don't want the refs to decide the game, but this is the NFL. This is professionals. You're going to have close games. And if a ref can decide it, that's not the way it should end. And that's what the ref did. An uncatchable ball. Oh, look at this. Hey,
Look at that.
Joplin.
Look at that tiny Raiders fan.
Whoa. Taylor, you moved down here from up north. That's going to deserve you a good old grunt listening.
Hey, don't say that whenever we have our media credentials. Just kick that arrowhead. Joplin, how you doing? But you don't want refs to do it, but they shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
So, again, that was one of the worst calls. I understand not calling stuff, but then to turn around and it seemed from years of watching Tom Brady, and I know everybody's just going to say I'm a hater, but from years of watching this guy, to see him in the last time, so this is where Green Bay could get it back, drive down, win the game. It was possible. And then the play ends. There's no holding. And like I said, it comes out of left field. Some guy who no way could have seen anything chucks that flag like he's freaking Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes 80 yards down the field and calls the penalty. Like, that is the most Tom Brady thing that can happen.
Here's my thoughts on it. It was a penalty. He had the jersey.
Sure.
But
I don't think he did. I don't think he had the jersey.
The jersey.
I seen a video. It had his jersey.
Yeah, he's got it pulled across the 50-yard line logo.
I mean, it had it pulled back a good 12 inches off his back, holding his jersey.
Yeah.
I promise. But here's the deal. I don't think
I'm a Packers fan, and I'm admitting they grabbed jerseys.
I don't think the ball was catchable.
Oh, it's far from
wasn't. But here's the thing. With defensive holding, it doesn't matter where the ball
where that flag came from, though. There's no way that guy saw that.
with defensive holding, it doesn't matter where the ball is. Holding is holding. So it shouldn't have been a pass interference call. It should have been a holding call, which it got turned into. That's what the booth review was. But honestly, you have to call either none of them and let them play, or call all of them. Don't just call the one against Green Bay.
Yeah,
but Green Bay messed up too. They let Rodgers get sacked 5 times. They couldn't run the ball. They settled for a field goal. They needed a touchdown. Green Bay lost that game, but the refs definitely helped Brady along when he was starting to fade.
Listen, Green Bay lost the game. That's period.
Absolutely.
I mean, I just don't.
They had plenty of opportunities. I mean, how many points did they get off of those 3 interceptions?
3.
Look, if anybody don't want anybody to have a close game, no one wants Tom Brady in there at the end of the game with a close game.
No one wants to
refs in that because he's experienced enough over the years. That's what he was going for in the second quarter with 13 seconds left. He was going for that deep ball to get a quick penalty so that he could then kick a field goal or have a first down with 5 seconds left and try to rush one in close to the one or something. But instead, he got a touchdown. He got lucky. But that's what the GOAT's life's been about his whole life. I mean, the GOAT has been lucky.
I don't think it's luck. I mean, there is some luck involved. A lot of it is he created a reputation, and that reputation spread into the refs and everybody. He has that reputation. This is Tom Brady. That's why he got so many roughing the passers, so many pass interference, because he's Tom Brady.
A lot of the refs hated him over those years too. By the way, I thought they hated him personally.
No, they loved him. They loved him.
Nobody in the NFL hates him.
All in all, one of these times, seriously though, and he's not with the Patriots no more. He's not in the Bills division no more.
Nope.
He's out of there. But
I may be rooting for him.
Green Bay, and you know what? You might as well. You might as well. Because, yeah, we'll get to that game next. But Tom Brady, I don't know. He didn't win the game. There's no doubt. He did not win the game.
No.
Green Bay lost that game, guys. That's all there is to it.
I can see that.
Listen, everybody wants to be armchair quarterback come Monday. Why did they let Rodgers go for it on 4th? You know what? I think we all kind of felt that way. Like it's like 2 minutes.
I think the worst play of the game was whenever he didn't run it in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I text you that. I believe
Rodgers should have won the game then.
Yeah, because he had nothing but daylight, and he's not, some Tom Brady. I mean, he could have ran that in.
Listen, it wouldn't have taken Lamar Jackson to get that ball in there. In fact, Tom Brady couldn't have got it in there, but I'm saying Joe Flacco could have.
Oh, yeah, but he's amazing. He wouldn't have had to, though, because he would have dropped bombs.
He would have just dropped the bomb earlier.
I don't know if you guys pay attention, but if you pay attention to our YouTube, if you go to the last 3 videos, if you hover your mouse over them, it'll play a little short preview of what is on there. And every single one is the Joe Flacco with me back here going like this. Every single one of them.
That's funny.
Yeah. But anyway, Green Bay definitely got off to a slow start. Those 5 sacks were terrible.
Nathan says, beautiful baby, and the kid's cute too. Chad is the sexiest, by the way, even though we're all A+. I can't say I disagree with that.
Why's he got to rub it in like that?
Packers lost it, and then Nathan had to leave us. But thanks for being here, Nathan. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Packers lost it, but the Bucs had a helping hand.
I also can anybody give me Rodgers' stats on the game? Because
Matt,
33 for 47, like
how many?
Almost 350 yards. Yeah, 3 touchdowns, interception. That should have happened. Rodgers had a good day, and he had to because we couldn't run the ball.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I do. It's terrible defense in the first half. Our pass blocking was terrible to start the game because again he got sacked 5 times, twice by JPP and 3 by
your left tackle.
Whose name I'm missing? Who?
No, you're missing your left tackle. That is a big deal.
We're missing our left tackle now.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's what
Eric
you get.
Eric Fisher,
Chippy,
our number 1 draft pick 8 years ago.
He's had one of the craziest journeys in the NFL because I don't know if you remember that he wasn't going to make it as a left tackle. Like after you guys drafted him, everybody said, no, Eric Fisher's not going to make it. They're going to cut him. And he stuck it out, and he's been solid for you guys.
After about year 3, we were wondering why we picked him. But in the last 4 or 5, he's been solid. Still don't know if he was the number 1 overall pick in that draft that year or whatever, our first round. I don't know if he was the number 1 pick for us that year. Should have been, but, I mean, anyway, that's old news.
Yeah, no, and I hate seeing him hurt. You don't want to see that with anybody. So do you want to dip in on that game? Chadwick, you ready for this?
Shaquille Barrett had the 3 sacks, and then JPP had the 2.
And he can't even count that on his fingers.
Only on the one hand. The other hand still got them all.
Ah.
But yeah,
you're talking about the Chiefs Bills now, right, Patrick?
That's what we're getting into now, yes. So I said it.
I'm going to say right now, I was so mad after my game, I didn't even watch this game.
Nah, and I expect that, especially after the text I got from you. I kind of figured. I watched both games, and the first one upset me. The second one made me want to hate everybody I know. So Chad was one of the good Chiefs fans, but he's long-suffering diehard, so he understands.
First of all, huge amount of respect to the Bills team. I mean, Patrick got me drinking his Kool-Aid pretty hard that last 3 or 4 weeks to where I was prepping myself for defeat because, I didn't think Mahomes was going to be sharp. I felt like we were going to go in that game, and I felt like Mahomes was going to go out after first quarter because he was going to have some arrogant throws, get knocked down once, come up.
His gout was hurting him.
People are going to get worried. Anyway, I started drinking the Kool-Aid pretty hard, and I mentioned to Patrick a few weeks back, I said, look, unless these guys are just really seriously not playing at the level they know they can, they're just saving it for the playoffs. I said, hopefully that's the deal. Anyway, Josh Allen's stats on the game were really good. There was a couple.
They're pretty solid.
Huh?
They're pretty solid.
Pretty solid. There was a couple things I seen that, we almost had a couple more interceptions. It was right there in the basket. Couple things he did where he almost got sacked for big yardage more than just the 2 times, almost 4 or 5, but he did get rid of the ball, so that was good.
That's the Josh Allen way. He's big enough he can hold people off to chuck it, and he could be holding a guy with his hand and still chuck it 90 yards.
Yeah.
Dude's insane. I don't know if you saw that one where he was already out of bounds, but he's like laying down and threw it 40 yards like a dart. Insane. So I said it from the get-go. I mean, this was always the game that worried me, but this is always the game I wanted.
Yeah.
Because you guys are the best. There's no doubt about it. Super Bowl champs, best record in the league. You guys were the team that you had to beat because if you didn't go through Kansas City, you didn't necessarily earn it. I mean, you did, but you didn't. So that's what I wanted, and that's what we got. And I think when it comes down to it, the 2 factors that lost us the game wasn't the holding on the Kansas City defensive backs. It wasn't Josh Allen. It wasn't our receivers. It was our offensive line and our defensive plan going into that. I don't know why you do such a soft zone coverage on Kelsey and Hill like you're going to catch up to them. That's just not the way to play those guys. You can't let them free release like that, and you can't let free runners through on Josh Allen like that. I've never seen so many people just instantly, like the line parted, and someone ran right at him. It was weird. I'd never seen anything like it before in my life.
And I know I've been in these shoes before where I'm on the other side of this. And sometimes, and I hate to say it, and I probably won't get it from you, but sometimes you just got to give credit to the team that actually doesn't maybe perform what you feel like they should have, but maybe to the team that overperformed. Because I'm telling you, just like last year, when it came down to this time of year, these guys have been there. They flipped it another notch. You've seen Chris Jones eating through lines, opening that middle gap.
He should have been kicked out though. No, one of them, Jones or Clark, I get them mixed up. One of them threw a punch. So, but no, and that's the thing. I'm not trying to take any credit away from Kansas City. They're every bit the team I thought they were. And they actually, and it was Jones that threw the punch. But it was every bit. They're every bit the team I thought they were. They played like the Kansas City that I knew. Even after that muff punt, I wasn't confident in it. We could drive the ball, but we were the best red zone offense in the league against the worst red zone defense, and we did nothing but kick field goals. So give it to Kansas City. They took their weakness, they made it their strength, and we didn't have a plan for it. And so, again, I'm not happy. I'm sad. I'm upset about this game. But Kansas City won that. There's no doubt about it. Bills didn't lose that game. They stride to the end. There could have been better game plans, but Kansas City won that game.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Now let's talk about what really happened in that game.
Now you're gonna open up the same can that got opened up on Sunday evening.
Because I heard the same thing from everybody. Oh man, those Bills are dirty players. Oh, they're so dirty. Oh no, they're chippy on both sides. They're both no. That is not what I saw. I watched one of your defensive back, Breland, body slam Diggs. I watched Okafor have 2 late hits on Allen. No, that was a body slam. We got flagged for it. It was a body slam. And then I watched Jones throw a punch. And the only thing you guys have on us is Feliciano took out Okafor after his late hit on Allen. Kansas City was being chippy. They were playing dirty. It wasn't Buffalo, but Buffalo is not going to let you do that to their quarterback.
Dirty. Okay, so
dirty. You throw punches, the dirty gets thrown in there. I know that wasn't the only, that.
So was it Frank that had him wound up back there, and then another guy came in?
It was Frank. I think it's Frank had him wound up, and then Okafor hit him
in the heat of the moment when you got a guy as big as Josh Allen who had just got done running a couple 20-yard sprints, getting away from them. You man, in the heat of the moment, if you've ever played sports on a high level, sometimes you don't hear that whistle. And for him to have that guy held up, and
that was a lot of whistles, though.
It wasn't even a bad. It was one whistle, and then it wasn't even a hard tackle to the ground. From there, Josh Allen threw the football in Okafor's face.
Yeah, he probably shouldn't have done that, but Okafor deserved it. That was his second late hit of the game that I saw.
Anyway, listen.
He was like 5 yards out when the whistle was blown. That's not heat of the moment. That's not motion. That's a guy who was trying to get hit on the quarterback.
One of these days, after every loss, you just can't blame zebras or calls. If you ever want to get to a point of it being great.
That's the wrong thing to say, Chad. That's why I led this up. I said from the get-go.
All the best dynasty defenses have been known to where when you bring your team to Baltimore, you get your ass kicked. You leave Baltimore, you got 3 or 4 guys injured, you're hurt. Every good dynasty defense has been out there over the years. When you go play them, they're not just going to play straight up all the time. I don't think the Chiefs did anything terrible in that game. I really don't. I don't think Josh Allen throwing the ball in Okafor's face is terrible.
I don't think it's terrible, but it's definitely uncalled for.
I was like, what are you doing? And that's when his guy hit him. Now, that would have been after all that transpired, that's when things kind of got to a different level. But, man.
Oh, man, it started from play 1 with Clark and Jones. They were getting chippy from play 1. But whenever you say –
establishing, showing them who's daddy.
Whenever you say it's both teams, it's not. There's a difference between reactionary and actionary. Whenever it's the Chiefs doing dirty shit, it's like saying – you have a bully in school and he's sitting there and he's beating on your kid every day. And then one day your kid pops him in the face. That kid's not at fault. It's that bully. That kid doesn't even get in trouble. It's the bully who's been doing it the whole time.
In the end,
been doing this the whole time, and it's all documented.
But here's
all videos.
This is besides the talk, because facts are this: we gave you the first 6 points because we fumbled it on the 1. We gave you that. It wasn't because of a great hit. It was because of non-focus. He dropped it without anybody on him.
Yeah.
And then you guys didn't score a touchdown until 4 minutes and 8 seconds left in the 4th. And that only happened because we were up by so much that you play prevent defense, allowing everything to go through the middle and get big yardage, and it got down the field. So even with dirty play, dude, we just we played better than we played all year.
I said that from the get-go, Chad.
I know, but
I never doubted that one bit. My thing is It was both teams.
I've
Dude,
seen
they were
dirty-
shoving each other from the first play. That's not true.
I've seen dirty teams play.
I watched this game, and again, I could find you at least 4 different videos of the Chiefs doing that. Find me one where the Bills were the ones that instigated it. Find me one. It wasn't both teams. It was the Bills reacting, and you go after the quarterback. If we were to go after Mahomes, would you not expect the offensive line to come after us?
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Here's the thing. I knew this going into this up the gut that I wasn't going to talk about the penalties or what happened at the end because I know what happened at the end there. The Bills players were frustrated. They're extremely frustrated, and I get it.
No,
I mean,
that was all on the Chiefs players. If you try to put that on the Bills, you're just wrong. And for that, let's do this.
For Okafor, I told someone today, I said, Patrick has spent the last 37 hours.
There's the whistle. 5 yards out. He had 3 whistles before he hit Josh Allen. Should Josh Allen have thrown that ball? No, I do not think he should have. Do I think Feliciano should have gotten his face? 100%. 1, 2. 2 before he hits him, 3 before he drags him to the ground. You're telling me that that's a clean play? You're telling me that that's the Bills getting frustrated at the end?
Here's how bad
100%
it is.
not.
Here's how bad. The zebra wasn't even going to call a flag on it because they understand continuation of guys in the act of motion, doing what they're doing. They weren't even going to call a flag until
they 100% should have.
Player threw a ball in his face. He got up, and another Bills player pushed him in his back, and then they pursued even push more. So when they went through all that mix, they had to figure, okay, we're not just going to give these Bills 3 flags. We got to give the Chiefs one, and then we're going to offset 3-1. I'm going to say this.
I'm going to say this right now.
Wife, I said, I don't even care if they offset all these flags that these Bills guys are going to get, because I said they're going to now give a Chief player 1 flag, which they weren't even going to do.
100%. That was all on the Chiefs, though. If you don't think that, then you're just blinded by what it was. 5 yards, 3 whistles, and he hits our quarterback. If we had done that to Tom Brady, they would have ejected him instantly. Patrick Mahomes, there would have been far more fights. And as far as what Alex says, no, I'm not a sore loser. No one play does not decide it. I didn't say that. I told you what decided the game. What I'm saying is 100%. That was on the Chiefs. That entire thing.
You're gonna have that game for being a AFC Championship game. I felt like if you don't come out and establish dominance, this is football. This isn't patty cake. I mean, this
don't expect it to be. There's still rules in the game, Chad.
But
again, had we done that to Mahomes, especially with him being injured, they would have ejected people.
I see it every week, though. I see continuation of quarterbacks going down and this and that and so forth. I mean, I see it all the time. I mean, look at Mahomes. Did I ever say anything about the tackle that sprung the nerve in his neck where he got flipped over? He was already on the ground. The guy knew he was already on the ground. He went over. He held on to his neck. Did you hear me say anything about that? No.
I'm about to not be friends with Alex anymore.
I didn't even read what he said. But here's the thing. I didn't mention that play one time that it was dirty. Did I feel like it was?
That one wasn't. That was a continuation of a play. He flipped over him. He had a hold of him on a clean sack and flipped over him. He landed weird. This was a 3 whistles.
After he was already down.
And he hit the quarterback.
After he was already down and held on to his neck. Kind of like he's worried he's going to fall down a cliff, so I need to hang on to his neck. That's the thing. It's football. That's why I never once brought it up over the last week or two. It's football, man. I mean, it's different. Remember when?
And I'm not saying that this is the reason that Kansas City won. I'm not saying anything other than all the Chiefs fans saying Bills fans were playing dirty or Bills players were being dirty. That is what I was saying.
Okay, but here's the deal. If you want to label Chiefs players or Chiefs fans as dirty or wicked, then, I mean, rightfully so, we're going to label you guys as pussies and pansies. I mean,
But they weren't. We followed the rules. You guys threw punches.
I'm not trying to be mean about it. I'm just saying, like, when
it comes down to it,
we're not known to have a
they
dirty
played
team,
dirty throughout this entire thing. Punch. It's a pussy punch.
I
it's called
told
punch.
Nathan today that you're going to have 30 hours worth of labor in this, where you pulled up a whole highlight film.
I pulled that stuff up just right now.
Include on and show, dude. I mean, like I said,
I just pulled that up right now. I just showed 2 of them where Chiefs were dirty. Give me one where Buffalo was the cause of it. Just one. That's the point. Is this is easy to say? It's both sides. It's easy to say all the stuff that Alex is saying, but when it comes down to it, Chiefs players were the ones that were chippy. I'm not saying that's the reason we lost.
I want them to.
I'm not even saying you guys are a bad team. I'm saying you're going to tell me Buffalo's dirty.
No,
give me some proof, because I just gave 2 examples.
I don't even want them hugging after the game or high-fiving, kind of like LeBron does with every other good athlete on every other good team. Did you ever see Michael Jordan hug or hold hands?
I don't think they should do that either.
Competitor, man. All I want.
I think there should be some stuff, but don't tell me that it's Buffalo whenever you have nothing to back it up.
Listen, when you go out and you got to create who's more dominant on the trenches, O-line, D-line, punt, all the extra stuff, yeah, I can do without. But here's the thing. I feel like if that stuff's going on, these players are telling the refs, like, hey, watch this guy, watch this. Things get caught. I mean, I just feel like right now, the chippiness, that's all it was. Just you're chipping away a little bit. That's fine. But here's the thing. If you want your team to be the dominant one out of the AFC West and go face the best teams in the NFC West, you got to have a chip on your shoulder. And again, like you said, the game wasn't won or lost by this. So that's why I say if we're going to label Chiefs players as dirty, nasty, or, the abusers, then
I can appreciate competitiveness. And the only reason I bring this up isn't even to attack the Chiefs. It's the fans that sit there and tell me that they are being dirty. It's the fact that they sit there and say Buffalo or it's on both teams. I mean, that was a slam, still a slam.
I love body slams.
That was unnecessary, and if I had audio, it's probably already whistling.
But I see that happen a lot where they take.
Well, that's a straight German suplex.
Yeah, no, that doesn't happen a lot.
It wasn't a great German. His form was kind of off, but yeah, that was a German suplex.
Mm-hmm.
All in all, I mean,
which they don't do. So there's 3. Can you give me one, Chad? Can anybody in the comments give me one? Alex, you want to talk a lot of smack? Find me one.
Who's Alex?
I don't know. She believes it's on the Chiefs, and she's a Bears fan, which is weird.
Is that why she thinks I'm not sexy? Because she's a Bears fan and I'm a Packers fan.
I didn't know she was a Bears fan.
I just found out. But she watches the show. She knows I'm a Packers fan.
Okay. Here, let me try to make this as easy as I can. Was it the right stuff to do? Was that body slam bad? No. Was that punch weak? Yes. Was that late hit going to injure Josh Allen? No. But every single person that told me that Bills were playing dirty because of Feliciano pushing Oakland further to the ground, you're completely negating everything the Chiefs did. I think the Bills reacted to what the Chiefs had done. So if anybody was dirty, it was the Chiefs. Do I like the competitiveness? Yes.
Patrick, right there. What you just said, I'm on game with. I'm on game with that. I think everything that happened in that one moment for you guys for it to be offsetting was very lucky too. And that's what I wanted, though. I wanted that. You know why? Because I told my wife that night, I said, man, I know when I finally get to talk to Patrick about this part right here, I said, I'd like for this play just to go away. Because face it, the Bills and the Chiefs are going to be at each other's throats for the next 3 or 4 years, bro.
You coming with us next year?
Me?
It's going to be in Kansas City. You coming to the game?
Regular season game? Maybe. Depends. Yeah. If this is COVID crap where they can only have like 15,000 fans, no. I want to
listen. Biden's going to fix that. Didn't you hear?
Oh, yeah. You're right. He's on the Actually, they're opening New York and California and everything's.
Hey, Alex, I'll take you serious if you can name half of the NFL teams.
Without Googling.
Yeah, so we're good. Or even just give me the winner of the AFC divisions, half of the winners of the AFC NFC divisions, and then I will take what you say. I don't even think you watched the game. So anyway, that was my point. Was I had so many people tell me Bills were dirty. They only reacted to what was given to them. They never did anything I felt that was dirty. It was reactionary. They hit Josh Allen late. He shouldn't have thrown the ball, but he was frustrated and he got hit late after the whistle. And I thought the whistle was early to begin with because Josh Allen is a stud.
If I was
chucked it with a guy on him,
I would have taken him down too because we had him backed up 20-some yards on like 5 different plays, and we took him down on a couple. And then on a couple of those where we had hands on him, they allowed him to then throw it, and get it out of his hands so it wasn't a sack or taken down or a whistle blown. So, again, I would have taken him down too, honestly. It would have been in the heat of the moment. He didn't take him down hard, and I wouldn't have taken him down hard. But one guy holding on to one arm, I would have wrapped my arms around his waist just like Okafor did and taken him down. And when I got hit in the face with a football, I would have got up and asked him the same thing. And when I had the O-line come and push me, I would have expected it because that's what O-line do. They take care of the brother. So, your guy.
I still think the Chiefs were in the wrong there. 5 yards and 3 whistles is quite a lot to not hear.
Josh,
that's a lot to skip.
I've watched
over.
it a few times, man. And again, I'm not saying because I'm a Chiefs fan. I would tell you the truth. You know me. I'm a very when it comes to things like this, I try to be unbiased as I can. But again, for us to talk this much about ref play on both these games, guys, it just in our game, I'm going to say it, the better team won. And I know you and I've talked about this. I said
100%. I agree.
If we play our game, I was like, we're the best team in football. If we don't play our game, your team's hot. You're going to beat us. And I still believe that. Hold on, sweetie.
This is how I know that Alex has no idea what he's talking about. Throwing a football at somebody dirty as hell. Come on. All right, Alex. I'm not going to show you stuff anymore because you're a sore winner, which is worse. Hey, Willow. Cashton, I saw you down there. So, hey, tell your dad to stop being such a homer with the Chiefs.
All in all, man, again, I think we could talk circles about your team, my team, this team, that team, whatever. But let's talk
100%
about
the best team won. I have
talk,
never doubted that. I never denied that at all.
Let's talk about this. Hardman, dude, when he dropped that ball, I'll be honest, at that point right there, I was like, that right there is going to be the difference in this game.
I didn't believe it at all because we drove down the field. We did a good job, and we kicked a field goal. And at that point, I was nervous. And so I was glad whenever he muffed it because it gave us a little window to work with, but they didn't. That offensive line, I've never seen so many people let free runners through. And, like, the Chiefs got there, and they got – even on plays whenever they didn't give them free runs, they still got to the quarterback, and your defense really stood up and did what they had to do. But there was so many plays where Sorensen got straight through or Jones got straight through or Clark got straight through with zero blocking. I never seen anything like it.
Listen, and honestly, again, you're right. Here's I seen last Sunday what we seen last year in the playoffs. That's true. They were very, very not so much just like shut down. Like you said, the Bills drove the field several times. But then in between those, well, I shouldn't say the Bills. Josh Allen drove the field.
Him and broken leg Beasley.
He had some big runs. Like I said, man, I think on our side of the ball, if you're at all rooting for the Chiefs going into the Super Bowl, you got to feel good about your odds, though. I mean, looking how we played this last week, knowing that, even Kelsey said, he's like, look, that was a really good game. He's like, we know what we're capable of, what we've done, and, what they've seen each other do in practice. And he said, he's like, look, that's not even near our best game. And I would like to see him put together a game like that. No mistakes on, the fumble at the 3 and, turn it over at the 1. And I tell you, the offsides kick you guys kicked, I was telling Caston all the way through this. I said, look, everybody's posting on Facebook, game's over. And I told my son, I said, son, don't ever do that. I said, this game's not over. I said, you got Josh Allen. And I said, you got a defense that could very easily give up a 3-play touchdown, a 2-play touchdown. I said, it could take 30 seconds off the clock. And I told him, I said, once they score a touchdown, I said, they are going to score a touchdown this time. I said, then they're going to do an offside kick. And I said, if they do the onside kick, I said, the thing about that is it used to be easier to get the ball back. I said, now there's harder. He didn't know what an onside kick was. They did the onside kick. He goes, Daddy, why don't the Chiefs do that every play?
It hasn't worked very much.
But they execute. I mean, granted, the Chiefs guy dropped it, but that was a very good kick, and your guys
Perfect
got
bounce.
it. They got
And
it.
I don't even hold the Chiefs player like. Dude caught it and was upside down and got broadsided. Like, I don't expect anybody to hold on to that one.
He was like sitting up in the air, like 6 feet off the ground, looking like he was laying on an air mattress of air.
I just got to jump in real quick. Joe Flacco is not the official quarterback of this channel.
I'll throw some balls. Sorry. Didn't mean to do that to you.
Anyway, I think there were some good things that came out of it. I think our rivalry that we're going to have going forward is going to be a little bit more intense each time. I think the Bills are now going to start building a team, and they've been doing great, don't get me wrong, but I think now they're going to reach out and try to grab someone that can be a utilized stopper, to one of our guys, whether it's someone that's going to be the guy that's going to be on Tyreek Hill or Kelsey or a pass
I think they'll go tight end.
Huh?
Tight end. We're going to go get Kittle.
You think so?
No, but if we did, that'd be flipping amazing.
So you think
But we will go. We will.
Go
Actually, there was Brandon Bean just come out and said that our tight end position is probably one of our greatest needs. We need. Obviously, our offensive line's got to do better, but we didn't have much of a bell cow running back at all. So if we can get a killer tight end and a running back, even if it's the two on our team, Zach Moss and Singletary, just step up a little bit. But they're like the same person. They're small, thick guys. We need something, whether it's a speedy guy or whatever. But tight end will be something that we really hit on because we just haven't had the that go to. If we had that tight end like Kelsey or Kittle that could get open almost every play,
Kelsey was a quarterback, man. He was a quarterback. He really has a good understanding of where to go, where he needs to be. When Patrick Mahomes does this, he does that. I mean, you guys know this, and I only know this because I watch him and I hear it on the TV. But it makes sense why he is right now. He is the best tight end in football. Kittle's is a little faster, maybe even I don't want to say more athletic. Kelsey is very athletic, but Kelsey's big, man. Kelsey's strong. I don't know. I'm pretty excited about the Super Bowl, guys. I'll be honest, man. I'm really hoping.
I mean, I would be too if I was going.
Listen, I got a ton of respect for Brady. My son loves him, but
who's he rooting for?
I hope he's rooting for the Chiefs all the way, man. Yeah, but I really hope that we honestly come out there, and I want him to play all game, but at the same time, I kind of want to break a couple ribs to start the game. Like Chris Jones come around the side, or come up the middle and Frank the Tank, maybe sandwich him once. I don't know.
If you guys could get pressure and one good hit, which something I've noticed about Brady in these playoffs, as soon as someone gets close, he just hits the ground. He doesn't even try to take that hit, just falls down. Because one good hit on him, and yeah,
he's 43. He's older than me.
Do you think he retires after this? Win or lose?
Nope. Dude, he's arrogant enough. He's going to come back one more season, especially if he don't win. If he does win, I'd say he retires. I don't think he will either way. He went there, won and done it. Tampa Bay, won in Tampa Bay. I mean, what better way to walk off the stage? We can't let that happen, though.
To be 2 for 2.
I don't think you will.
So we need to get a little dirtier. We need to get a little bit more chippy. We need to – I'll tell you who's chippy and dirty is Ndamukong Suh, man. Has his whole career.
Yeah, forever and a day.
Now, listen, you don't think for a second you got to be that way a little bit back to a guy like that? I mean, if you're in prison and the guy comes up and tells you he's going to eat your fruit cocktail, what do you do?
Well, there's no
biggest guy in the mouth.
You don't get flagged and taken 10 yards back for shanking.
I am just.
You kind of do. You get stuck in a hole for like a month.
Is there a way? Hey, do you know? Can we ban people from the chat room? Alex, Josh Allen couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. He had the 4th highest completion percentage behind Rodgers, Breeze, and Watson. Freaking, I don't even see Patrick Mahomes. There,
I
no,
think-
that's
I think Mahomes was top 10, wasn't he?
where is he? You guys talk amongst yourself. There he is. 16. Your GOAT is 16th in completion percentage.
You talking
Wait.
about Mahomes?
Yeah, this
Sorry,
year he was
dude.
16th.
Listen, Mahomes, I don't care. You can have Rodgers. Rodgers is great.
I think he's the best player in the
Brady.
game right now.
Brady's great, but he's old. Dude, I'll take Mahomes over any quarterback.
Mahomes is solid, and he's a good leader.
My second pick would be Allen, and the only reason why is because he's like 7'8". He's like 360, and he's young. Now, here's the deal: that body frame at that young age is good now, but I'm telling you, in about 3 or 4 years, it's going to hurt him.
No.
As hard as
Big
he
Ben's
runs,
still
dude,
going.
as hard as he runs and stuff, dude, I'm telling you.
He ran less this year. He's getting to the point where he's going to start.
Well,
He starts running whenever he feels like that's his only choice.
he finally started making completions. I mean, he was like last or second to last his first 2 years on completion, so he had to run the ball all the time. This year, he's what, number 2, 3?
What's that?
His completion percentage was
Josh Allen was 4.
this year 2 or 3, right?
Josh Allen was 4,
4, okay. I mean,
but he
ran
was
a
at
lot.
69.6 or something like that.
He's still running a lot. I'm telling you, that big body frame, it's like any running back that's got that frame, dude. They're good. They're good for running that for so many years. They don't have the longevity. The guys like Barry Sanders, and it's not like old school football. Walter Payton was big. O.J. Simpson was big. Those guys ran forever. Jim Brown. Nowadays,
Derrick Henry.
you get a
Proper
good going
gentleman.
back. They're good for about 4 years.
Who is the quarterbacks or the running backs?
The running backs.
Anybody.
Derrick Henry's still going.
Yeah, he's a different breed, dude. He's like you got.
He's
man.
he's ginormous, and he runs like a proper gentleman.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, though. You got man, and then you got like man, boar, pig, dinosaur or something. That's where he's in there. He's a cross.
So, one thing I will say is whenever the Bills come into Kansas City next year and beat you guys, Alex, you have no idea how bad you're going to get it. I won't let up. Chad, you're fine. I'll still talk about those dirty Chiefs, but you got it coming, Alex.
Well, still, hey, did you know that they quit calling it the Buffalo Wings? That they're actually called the Kansas City Wings now? You're actually going to have to beat us
Shut your
for a
mouth.
championship to get Buffalo Wings back.
You shut your mouth.
That
We'll
was
beat you next year.
Funniest meme I seen on Facebook, dude.
I mean,
You
we
gotta
just
get
call them hot wings.
No, they're Buffalo Wings. You guys stop trying to steal our stuff. You just wish you had it.
I really don't. I don't like spicy food.
Why not?
You don't
It's
like
American.
spicy food?
I don't. I don't like my food.
I buy spicy pork rinds and I take a whole bottle of Texas Pete's, Frank's Red Hot, or Louisiana, and I douse them where they're entirely covered. And
I don't like my food to hurt me. I like my food to be my friend.
You like cheese, don't you?
I love
You like
cheese. I love all dairy products. Mm-mm. And I love chicken, but
Patrick, listen.
if I'm getting wings, the barbecue.
You know I haven't called you since Sunday.
Mhm.
I haven't bothered you. And the reason why is because we've got many more years of this. This ain't just a one and done. You're going to.
Oh, no. This is going to be going on for a long time because we're both going to be first in our division. So we're going to play each other every year. Then we got the playoffs. So, yes. It will it'll be for a long time.
Listen, I got mad respect for Allen and several of those guys. Allen, I told you that first game, his kryptonite against us, I felt like the big lights were on, had nothing to do with the rain. I mean, we're their athletes, man. Did it hamper him a little bit? Sure, it hampered everybody.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing is, if you watch the game, I never said that the rain was a reason. I said that it was a factor because if you would have watched all the times Josh Allen hit people in the hands and they dropped it, the biggest reason was half our team was injured and gone. This time, we were most of the way back. I mean, Cole Beasley did play on a broken leg, but for the most part, we were healthy, and you guys beat socks off of us. There's no doubt in that.
But here's
that first game, we were definitely hurt, and then it killed our passing game, killed your guys' passing game too. But you guys could run it. We couldn't.
Right. That's why we just ran the ball. Mm-hmm. I still feel, though, there was just a little bit. And dude, this is something to walk away with with some I hate the word hope, but I feel like Josh Allen still was playing that role of like, oh my God, like the lights are shining on me right now. I've got to pull this off. Once he gets a little bit more relaxed, like he's been all year, he's been great being relaxed, letting his team do the work with him. I feel like he didn't let his team help him win either, which is not a knock on him because he's been so used to carrying the team on his shoulders.
I would agree with you last year. I wouldn't agree with you this year.
This game, man.
This game, he had the offensive line, I said, let him down so bad. And so he was running for his life, and he knew that he was on a clock. That's why in the second half he started running so much, and that's why he ended up with 88 yards rushing, which was still only 88 yards rushing. That was like 3 rushes.
Regardless, if the only touchdown you have until the 4-minute mark is one that we gave you on the one.
No, I'm telling you,
that is on the quarterback. It is on the O-line.
It's not on the quarterback. No, I mean, there's obviously he went and he had a good day. The one interception he had some iffy throws. I'm not going to deny that. He made some decisions. I said, say what?
Again, great performance, but just a little bit more, dude. And he's gonna.
Hey, Spud guys are out. Thanks, guys, for watching.
I think his game could have. I think his game definitely could have been better, but it was good.
It was a solid 260 with 88 yards rushing.
He's an exciting player, dude. When he takes off, I seen some of our guys, coming around the end to get him, and I thought they're going to catch him before he makes that turn upfield. And he got separation, like even more and more. And I was like, gosh darn. Then next thing you know, he's already got 14 yards, and our secondary hasn't even picked him up on the radar. So again, all compliments, man. But in the end, man, I think the biggest and I know you love your coach, but I tell you, anytime you got guys like Mahomes, Kelsey, Hill, the best tight end in football, I'm going to say it in my book, Mahomes, if he's not the best, there'll be half the country that will tell you Mahomes is the best quarterback in football. Listen, if Dee Ford wasn't lined up in the neutral zone against the Patriots 2 years ago, we win that game. We go on. I believe we beat the Rams, brother.
Oh, anybody would have beat the Rams. They're terrible,
dude. We would be going for a three-peat, but we're not. We're not. But all in all, I'm telling you, when you got the best quarterback, the best tight end, the fastest wide receiver, very dynamic, and other great role player wide receivers, and some decent backs, really pretty decent backs. Darian Williams, man, he was a stud last year. He came out of the COVID. He said he wasn't going to play. He's way better than the jerk we got from Pittsburgh. Dude, I'm telling you.
I agree.
And then you put all that with Andy Reid for 2 seasons to devise stuff, man, I'm telling you. It's something great to watch. As a Chiefs fan, man, we're not going to be able to keep all this talent forever. We got Kelsey for a couple more. We got Mahomes locked up. We got Hill for a couple more. I mean, I hope Eric Bieniemy has the sense to know that if we win this year, he needs to stick around for another, man. At least one more.
We'll see. This rumor still is that he's already accepted the Texans job. He's just waiting for it to end.
They probably think the only way they can keep Deshaun Watson there is if Bieniemy goes there.
See, I'm kind of hoping that the Texans hire Leslie Frazier because I don't think he called a good game. I don't think his defense has really been much anything this year. So we have good players. We did not have a good system this year.
No.
I'd say I hope they take Mike Pettin, but we probably won't release him.
What are we at on picks, guys? I'm going to have to hop off here. You want to write my pick down?
We're not going to do that till next week. So no
we
worries.
already know Ogre's picking the Bucks. So,
yep, 100%. Well, Chad, thanks for being on. Again, this is what it's like whenever you can be opposing teams and still get along.
Patrick,
we can disagree, but we still get along. We get it. We see it. It's not always about just being a fan.
In the end, like my wife and I was saying, it's just a game. And I'll tell you firsthand, as a Chiefs fan, I've always liked the Bears second. Big Bears fan from when I was a kid. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be hard putting Bills at number 2 just because they're in the AFC and we're going to be facing them every year. But I can promise you this. If the Bills knock us off next year or the next year, I ain't going to hold any hostility against it. That's a fun team to watch, man. I mean, from everything they executed other than the entire game plan overall against the best team in football, I mean, I think if you guys would have played anyone else in the playoffs, you'd be in the Super Bowl without question. Fun team, man. Josh
Oh,
Allen,
and it's going to be fun to watch them. We're going to be – I mean, I think there's a good chance that McDermott ends up as the all-time winningest coach in Bills history because he's got a good team to build off of. We got a couple of years before we got
it. Big tight end. You got Beasley come back healthy. He's that slot guy. You got Diggs. Diggs loves Allen. Allen's good. Man, it's gonna
Gabriel's going to be good next year. I mean, he's good this year. We got to lock down a tight end, get that running game going, probably a little bit of tweaks on the offensive line, and one stud pass rusher. I think we've got solid guys across the board, but we need someone that can, take over a game if he has to, get into that quarterback, which I'm sure every team could use that. But again, I think if we got the tight end, I'd be worried for the rest of the NFL because Josh can make stuff happen with what he has. If he had that Kelsey or Kittle, by God, he would be good. So anyway, thanks for being on here, man. We'll have you on. I think we're going to do it Thursday next week. I'll let you know. But then we'll get the official picks, and good luck. Hydrate.
Fellas. Peace.
Bye.
See ya.
Oh, hold on.
Hold on.
I'm touching. I'm getting after the freaking chat.
Mine won't even let me see all the chat. It says new comments, but it won't let me scroll down, so I have no idea what you're looking at.
Well, Heather's, I assume from Rick, says that the Bills will be better once Allen learns how to throw a touch pass. I mean, Allen was top 5 in almost every passing category, if not all of them. He can throw the touch pass. The problem here is, one, whenever he gets too excited, he has a tendency to do some weird stuff. Maybe hold the ball too long, not throw it away when he's supposed to, because he always thinks he can make that play. And good for him. I sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. I honestly think if our offensive line would have been anything, he would have been a lot better. But would have, could have, ifs, and whatever. We lost to the better team, and I want everybody to realize that. I don't know how many times I can say it. The reason I bring up Chiefs playing dirty is because that's what I heard from everybody, is how dirty the Bills player was. No, it was all reactionary. I gave 3 different videos. And technically, with Okafor's 2 roughing the passers, shouldn't he have been booted? 2 personal fouls is booted, right?
Should have been.
Normally.
And then the punch from Jones should have been immediate boot. So that's 2 defensive players that should have been booted out of the game. But again, that still wouldn't have done it because our offensive line was trash. And that's not taking away from the Kansas City offense, which is probably the best offense in the game right now. Thank you, Heather. Tell him to learn what a touch pass is. Damn it. No, I like Rick. I never met him. Good dude. He listens to Up the Gut and has arguments with me when I'm not even there. So he might as well have an argument with me. Anyway, so we lost to the best offense in the league. Our defense was going to have trouble anyway, but our game plan was garbage. There's something more we could have done there. We have the players. So not trying to take away from Kansas City. They were clearly the better team. They won. There was some issues with Chiefs fans where they say shit that they don't back up. Again, I offered 3 videos. If I had to, I could find the 4th, and I could probably find even more. I mean, the very first text I sent a Chiefs fan during the game was, by God, are your defensive backs holding? So I could probably provide even more video, but I gave 3. Give 1 where it was the Bills being the dirty players. Anyway, what it comes down to is Aylers and I are upset, damn it. And it's not easy to have your team's entire run of the Super Bowl dashed and then within 3 days be online and discuss it. It's not easy. So thank you for doing this, Aylers.
Well, yeah. I'm a little more salty because we did not lose to the better team. We won time possession. We won the turnover battle, but our defensive coordinator sucks, and our offensive line showed its weakness with Bakhtiari being out.
Yep. I mean, in the end, you lost, and you got to understand that.
But we didn't lose to the better team.
I don't think so. I don't think anybody does. I think that when it comes down to it, Chiefs are still the better team, but I give them 1 year because Josh Allen, look how much better he was coming from 2 to 3. You think he's just going to sit in the sidelines after that loss? He's going to
No.
come out, be able to freaking drop. He's going to go and pump up some iron. He's going to be able to throw that ball through people. Like he's going to start killing people just straight through the body. Like,
got the long
man,
receiver.
hold all you want. He'll just throw the ball through you.
Real quick though, can I get the big screen just so I can say something real quick to Packer Nation?
Hey, 100%.
Real quick, I just need to talk to my people. Because I go online and I see all of you talk about, oh, it didn't end the way it wanted, but it's a great season. This is not a great season. A great season is when you improve on something, when something gets better. We did not get better. We got to the same record and the exact same spot we got last year and showed all the same weaknesses that we had the last season. This was not a great season. This was a waste of time and effort. I just want to let you all know that because a lot of you are delusional and are just happy with mediocrity and third and fourth place. I'm not. This was Super Bowl or bust, and son of a bitch, we busted. And that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, I got you. So, watch this. Bills Mafia, keep being you. You guys are awesome. Don't be too downtrodden, but also don't do like he said. Don't be okay because we did good. We lost to the reigning Super Bowl champions, possibly going to be the 2-time Super Bowl champions. That's not, don't think that's okay because we had the talent to do better and we will do better. I have complete faith in our team. So Bills Mafia, just be you. Break your tables, but be smart about it. If you put lighter fluid on the table and then jump on it, then you will have lighter fluid on you and you will be on fire. Come on now. Use your head.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Anyway, so again, I think that ultimately, we got close. I'd rather say win the Super Bowl every year, but I'm sure 31 teams want to do that and only one does. So this is why this is the saddest day because
we both had to take that L.
We did. But last week it was the saddest day for Baltimore and the Rams. And the week before that, it was the saddest day for the Seahawks and the Colts. And then the week before that, it was the saddest day for a whole bunch of teams. It was, I guess the best bit of advice I can give anybody who's watching this still or who watches this later, if your team wins, just remember that you won't win every year. And remember that there's a whole bunch of people out there that aren't winning. So don't be an asshat. Learn to be a gracious winner. I think it was Barry Sanders. Go ahead.
I was going to say, have some class.
Barry Sanders. Yeah. Have a little class. And I think it was Barry Sanders that said, act like you've been there and act like you're going to be there again. All these people, all these Kansas City fans giving shit. You're not acting like you've been there. You're not acting like you're going to be there again. And this is probably one of the best teams to play football in decades. So,
it makes me
and I'm
sad
basically just talking about Alex.
Yeah, it makes me sad that the guy who said that never got to go there.
So anyway, are we done? Is this it?
Yeah, we're not doing picks till next week.
Well, I'm going to try to get Corey on next week.
Yes, sir.
So he specifically wrote me and said, "Can I be on that show?" And I'm like, "Damn right you will." He's like, "Well, I have school on Wednesdays." I'm like, "I will move everything around for you because that's what we do here on Up the Gut. We make room for you, whoever you are." And then we break your speakers. Sorry, guys. All right. Well, anything you got for him before we get off of here?
Aaron Rodgers is MVP.
I guess that's something, but you're not in the Super Bowl.
We're not.
Congratulations, Kansas City Chiefs.
At least
congratulations.
Trophy.
Sorry, what was that?
At least someone on our team's getting a trophy.
Yeah, that's true. So congratulations to the teams going to the Super Bowl. We'll make our picks. We'll do our Super Bowl special next week on Thursday, 6:30. If that changes, I'm sorry I told you the wrong time. We are on Facebook. It's Matt and Patrick, all one word, ANDPATRCK. If you want to find it. And basically, I just use that to share our videos and get a broader audience. If you haven't subscribed, hit subscribe. If you haven't liked, hit like. Thanks, everybody, showing up. And hey, Tell your mom about us.